Hello CD Bestie, welcome back to CreativeDisc exclusive interview with me Luthfi. And right now we have a special guest coming from Nashville, is it correct?
New York actually.
New York?
Yeah.
New York, not Nashville anymore?
Not Nashville.
Oh, okay. So, coming from New York right now, so this is the singer that I already interviewed last year. We're talking about his album called Infinitely Tall, and he's now here, not in Jakarta exactly, but in Depok, in attending the most oldest jazz festival in Indonesia, GGTC, JGTC, Jazz Goes to Campus. So finally, I got to talk offline with Charlie Burg. Hello.
Great to be here.
Glad to be here too.
Yeah.
Finally, we talk offline. So after your album Infinitely Tall, how's life after your album release?
Life's good, man. It's complicated. I mean, it's just a lot going on, you know. But no, life is nice. Just still writing and traveling and you know, staying healthy and yeah.
Like, how can you keep up with the busy schedule?
The business schedule?
Busy schedule.
Busy schedule?
How you keep up?
Yeah, I mean, Google Calendar is a really important tool.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very important you know, organizing platform for me. But yeah, I don't know, just making sure that I have every week planned out and staying in communication with people I work with, and yeah.
So let's talking about your newest single. Before we
Step
step inside. Why before we step inside, not before we step outside?
Good question. I wrote this song about a moment that it's really a moment where two people are waiting to go into a house show, like a concert, and they're having sort of a existential or profound discussion about, you know, things that have been on their mind recently.
Okay.
And so it's, you know, the fact that it's before stepping inside, it's supposed to focus on the sort of anticipation or the build up to like a cathartic moment.
Okay.
Yeah. If
So
that makes sense.
I think like before. So I think like I kind of like read book that if you go to the concert, I think like we're lost in the fantasy world, not in the real world. I think because
Yeah.
I think like in concert, I think like you living in a dream. You having fun. You forget the reality, the harsh reality of life. I
Yeah.
think. Is it true on your side when you are making this track? Because I think like from the description that you already give, I think it's kind of like that. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, like I said, the live space, being at a concert is like a cathartic experience and a place where one can be without inhibition and without sort of boundaries or ceilings, and you can sort of allow yourself to let go. And I think in that way, you're right. Yeah.
But why concert as a medium? Because I think like we can change the subject to the fair, maybe like to the fairground. I think to the carnival. But why concert? Is it like after pandemic we get so many concerts and it inspires you to making this track?
I think concerts are really unique spaces where, you know, we can share human experience with other people. You know, a carnival or a festival of sorts, these are places where you do observe other people, but you know, the participatory aspect of it is not inherent in the event. But at a concert, you know, you watch somebody cry on stage, you watch them laugh, you watch them scream, sweat. Right, they are reaching the boundary or the full scope of the human experience. So you know, it's just encouraging. It's exciting and encouraging and motivating to kind of reach that vulnerability yourself. So.
Kind of like the energy in one place and in one moment, I think. And that makes special.
Yes. exactly.
So, okay, about the concert, like, what's the most unforgettable concert that you ever attended?
Attended?
Yes,
Wow.
in your life.
Yeah, it's interesting. You experience concerts based on, what stage of life you're in.
Yes,
Right. So
it is.
when I was 18, I saw Coldplay.
Ooh!
Yeah, and I love Coldplay now still, but at the time it was such a tender, vulnerable time for me that just the experience of Coldplay was really emotional at that time. Another concert I saw was J. Paul recently.
Oh.
This is a sort of R&B
Yeah.
producer in a sense, and he put on the first concerts he'd ever put on this year in New York and LA
Yeah.
and London, I think. I saw him twice. I had to go twice because the first time I saw him, I was so blown away. So 2 nights later, I saw him at a different venue, and that was really profound of an experience. I don't know how to describe it the other way. It was just really amazing.
You're so lucky to watch J. Paul, because I think like J. Paul is like a mythic, like his song is kind of like lost, I think, in the past, and right now he's got touch to the real world, I think.
Yeah, that's cool that you know him.
Yes, I already know him like 2009, I think. It's kind of like he's like a mythical artist.
Yeah.
I think like he's like didn't put any song, but media hyping about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and when he said he wants to go tour, I think like it kind of surprised me too, because I think like, oh man, this kind of guy, Frank Ocean of past generation is wants to go to the tour. Oh my god, it's kind of like some amazement to me.
Oh yeah.
Until now,
No, he's incredible.
he really do.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
He's so cool.
So okay, regarding about your performance, like I think like your audience is mostly in here. I think like it's teenage girl and teenage boy, I think. So how do you think about that?
I don't know. My music connects with people in the way that it does, and I don't try to control that. And I'm just thankful that anybody can kind of relate their life experience to my songs. And I think when I was that age, learning about love and human relationships, and when I was making sense of those formative times, music was the way that I did it. So, I'm thankful that it's relatable and that it seems to latch on with a certain crowd.
Okay. So, my very, very last question.
Yes.
You said that on the Infinitely Tall, you've got so much burden in your heart. You've got so many heavy feelings in your heart.
Okay.
On Infinitely Tall.
Uh-huh.
I still remember the interview. Do you have a burden in your heart until now, after you working Infinitely Tall? Because I think like Infinitely Tall, I think like you can like open up your heart and let it go, I think. So this is like kind of like, do you still have a burden on your heart after Infinitely Tall?
It's a good question. I have not listened to that album since
Really?
I finished it. Yeah, since I finished making it. I do have a certain tenderness with those songs that make them challenging for me to interface with now. Still can't listen to them. I don't really know why. But I think it was such a release of something so specific, writing those songs, that I don't feel a need to relive them by listening to them. I feel a visceral need now to move on from them, and to kind of allow them to stay in the past. Yeah.
Wow. So we are already on the new Charlie Burg era, I think.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay, so very, very last question. What's next for Charlie Burg?
What's next? I'm playing these shows in Asia. We're gonna finish up towards the end of the year, and I'm taking some time away from New York, take a deep breath, and get some space from, the things that I'm used to out there. And, I'm looking to kind of remember why I fell in love with music in the first place. So I think just living life and
Back to normal.
yeah, just going through the strokes. And, yeah.
Oh wow, that's such a heartfelt interview. I think. Thank you, Charlie Burg,
of
for
course.
this time. I finally met you, and
Yes.
wow, you are so much changed after Infinitely Tall. You are not mellowing out right now.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So okay, thank you CD Bestie for this interview. Thank you for watching. So don't forget to follow all of the social media of Charlie Burg. Can you promote your social media?
Yes. My Instagram is Burgchar, Burgchar, and I'm just Charlie Burg on everything else, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we step inside, exactly
That's it.
before we step inside, is already on many streaming platform. You can check it out. And you can check his live performance on DGTC, Jazz Goes to Campus UI. Okay, so thank you, Charlie Burg, for this interview.
Thank you
so much. So I'm Luthfi. Don't forget to subscribe CreativeDisc in YouTube and check out CreativeDisc.com, the #1 music website in Indonesia. I'm Luthfi, and this is Charlie Burg. We have to signing off. See you on another interview.